Hey yo guys, how's it going? Tally here, and let's be real with ourselves, Yu-Gi-Oh can be pretty expensive, but the question is, how expensive does it have to be? So this is my sealed only journey. I'm going to take Shaddolls, and I have until the 14th of December to build a 100 duels ready deck. Now, today I'm going to crack open some more duel overload. Please guys, make sure if you appreciate this series to make sure to like it, subscribe if you haven't already, and also drop a comment, even a hashtag for the algorithm. Now let's dive into some packs, will we? So I have 10 packs of Duel Overload here. We are looking for Verte Anaconda because this is a fusion deck. We are looking for Phantasme, Dinomicious, and like Infinite Impermanence would be amazing to add another one to the collection. So first of all, let's get this boy cracked open. And okay, another giant Dark Magician girl. Yeet. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, will we? By the way, I don't know where that card went. So we have 10 packs here, let's just dive in. So overall, I really want to take this deck in a good kind of going first position. Lots of trap cards, lots of Shaddolls, and essentially just put it in a place where we've got a lot of interruption during our opponent's turn, and our turn 2, turn 3 game is going to be absolutely dynamite. So starting off, we have Extra Hero, Infernal Devicer, Deck Lockdown, Cerevis might be a cool hand trap for targeting protection, Hollow Giants, and Magic Formula. So overall, I think this deck's really fun. I've been like theory crafting in my head a lot, and oh my god, another one, and I do really want to like take this deck in a really cool direction. So we have a White Mare, a Deck Lockdown, a Hysteric Sign, and a Scrap Orphos. This isn't looking too good. 2 packs in, we're not really pulling anything amazing, unlike last time, and if you haven't seen that, make sure to watch it. It's on the screen now. So we do have a Dingirsu, which is a cool pull, not really Shaddoll worthy though. Chaos Goddess, Protector Whelp of the Destruction Swordsman, Super Viacroid Stealth Union, and number 27 Dreadnought Dreadnoid. It's a pretty cool card, but it's not really doing anything for us. So, man, I really wish we could like, what level is Construct? Could we do 2 Construct into Dingirsu if we have to? Auroradon could be cool. Chaos Goddess again, Firebrand Hymnist, Salamangreat Almirage, Witchcrafter Madame Very. So, could Almirage be something decent for just getting attributes on field? Like, we do run Grista, so an Almirage might not be the worst thing in the world, but I'm probably overthinking it. We don't really need a lot of amazing links, we just only need like a couple of good ones. We have Chaos Dragon Levianeer, which by the way, could be a shout. A lot of darks in this deck. Last Warrior from Another Planet, Bloom Harmonist, the Melodious Composer, Malefic Tune, Reptilian Echidna. We'll put Levianeer over here because I do think Levianeer could actually be a cool addition to the deck. The problem is searching it out, as it's very unsearchable on the deck, so maybe we'll pull another one and it'll do some good. Because it does interact with like our banished Shaddolls, which Ariel is actually really good at interacting with as well. So there is some slight synergy I'm maybe reaching. We have Ancient Gear Ballista, Ferocious Flame Swordsman, Hollow Giants, another Chaos Goddess, another Protector Whelp. At best, this is a generic link too. So like, but we have Lanthrinkus already, so we don't really need another generic link too. What we do need is Cross Sheep, which is in Battles of Legend, but I don't know where I can get that. But I guess we'll have a look for it. We do have Tenyi Spirit, Shashashasha, Super Viacroid Stealthy Union, Dreadnought Dreadnoid, Double Evolution Pill, and Cubic Dharma. Man, this isn't going great. We've got 3 packs left and pulled absolutely nothing so far. Guys, give me your energy. I desperately need your energy. And I will know if I didn't get your energy because I'll not pull anything great. So make sure to give me energy by hitting like. Okay, Condemned Dark Lord, Enma's Judgment, Reptilian Echidna, Magic Formula, and Speed Droid Hexa Saucer. Gonna need more energy than that, guys. Another Levianeer, which isn't actually the worst thing ever. Another Double Evil Pill, a Cubic Dharma, Enma's Judgment, and we've had this pack, like almost card for card. Could we run Dino Shaddolls? Shaddoll Dinos? A small Dino engine wouldn't be the worst thing ever actually if we want some like beefy going first place, because we do actually have access to some really good cards for going first if we run a Dino package, but that is a going second deck. But I suppose we can test like could probably get my hands on some Dino structure decks. We have Artifact Dagda, which is a really good link to. That actually might be a shout if we want to run more of a stun variant. Magic Formula, Speed Droid Hexasaucer, Paleozoic Dynamicious, not bad at all, and Adgeranum Umbrella. That's not how you say that word. Overall, out of the £34 that we spent today, Levianeer might be a good late game card. It might be a good game closer, because like again, it's a dark. I would prefer if it was a light, but that is what it is. And we have Paleozoic Dynamicious, which again, like, there's some power there, because essentially this interacts really well with the Shaddolls, where it sends to the graveyard as an effect and not a cost. And of course, it's like non-destructive removal, which is great, and this also has a bit of destructive removal, which is less great, but it pops 2 as opposed to popping 1. So, overall, let's take it to the deck list and see kind of what we're feeling. Okay, so here we are with the deck list. Not really much has changed since last time. I just decided that I would like to try out the Dynamicious, a Levianeer, which could go, like, it's either going to be great or it's going to be awful, and I just updated the extra deck to have Dagda in it, just because it was a slightly better generic link to, just a little bit more attack points. If we ever get a Scythe, like, we can use that, but it is what it is. Chuck the hand traps in the side deck, because to be quite frank, I feel like just having them as one-offs just isn't really cutting the mustard, and you know, kind of that is what it is. So let's crack on with some games. So in game 1, our opponent doesn't really show their hand, and by that I mean they set one pass, so I tried to bear it out. Turns out it was a card that flips cards down then back up again. I'll take that. So they do the whole take 3k damage thing and try and banish my deck. They even said GG in chat. This ended so perfectly. In game 2, we were up against Salamangreat, and I'll be real, if they had Ash, I probably would have lost, but I happened to open up pretty much the perfect hand for this particular deck, and even better, I managed to draw into another good piece of interaction against Salamangreat. There was a little bit of back and forth, but I was pretty confident I had an answer for everything they could have went into, and after a few turns, we managed to take the W on this one. In game 3 we're still up against Salamangreat, and it's another game where a great hand was opened. For them though, that hand looks pretty tasty, and it could have put me in the bin if they knew what to do. Luckily, they don't crow the fusion, but they do set up Abyss Dweller, which kinda sucks, but it's okay, we've got an answer to that, and we're going to be able to do fine. Eventually, they don't undo their Baguska, mess up their own resource loop, and then they can't play through a window, so we take this one too. Game 4 we're up against Orchist, and I'll be real, pretty happy with this one too. I think at times there was a good amount of luck, but it's one of those games this episode that I think shows some of the potential of where this deck could be when it's finished. Turns out, Mud Dragon is pretty low-key decent against the Phantom Knight engine, since it can make your El Shaddolls untargetable, and at the very least it baits a negate. And anyway, I'm happy with a win here. In game 5's roughly where it all goes downhill. Like, it started off well, but I decided to get greedy with the allure, when I could have just pretty much won very easily if I set the effect failure to go into Construct after attacking with the Shekhanaga, and that would have kept my resource loop going, and I could have went into another Construct or set up an App Clone. Anyway, it's all a learning process at this point. I learned in game 6 that Gizmek Orochi is pretty decent at outing most of what I can do right now. It punches over Winda and can pop the other El Shaddolls, and I've got no way of getting over it every time it comes back. We lost this one too, but it's where I started to catch on that this deck doesn't finish games quickly enough right now, and that's going to be something that we definitely change later. In game 7, we're up against something that's just weird, if I'm honest. The deck just makes me draw cards. Like, I don't know if I wanted to include this match, but I've got to show off such a weird deck. Anyway, of course we won this one. Game 8, we're still up against that really weird deck, and same thing again. They just made me draw lots of cards, and of course I'm fine with that, and of course I took this one as well. In game 9 we're up against Dream Mirrors, and do you know how I know this deck still needs work? I couldn't outpace Dream Mirrors. That Daedalus dude is pretty harsh in my deck since I do nothing but target.
and I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty ashamed of this loss, but I guarantee it will be the last time I ever lose to Dream Mirrors. And for our final game of this episode, we're up against Tenyi. And Tenyi, much like me, don't do a lot if you slow them down, so I decided to do exactly that. Lost Wind came in super clutch, and from there, I just kind of snowballed. I'm happy enough with this performance, so let's take a look at our results so far. Okay guys, so that's the end of the video. I'm not sure how I feel about the deck still. It's definitely going in a better direction. You know, I do like having all of like the trap cards to interact with. I do like having them. The problem is I only have one of each of them, so I really do want another Impermanence, at least another Strike, another Dino-Mishus, because they're all good, but they're not good one-offs. So we'll continue to open some Dual Overload next week. It just is what it is. Hopefully we'll pull the Verte, hopefully we'll maybe pull a Phantasme. I really want to shape up the side deck. Like the Lava Golems just aren't cutting it. The Unending Nightmare like has to go. So we'll continue to work on this. I'm finding the biggest thing right now is it does not have a definitive quick way to end games. You're just kind of stalling out, and hopefully, like if you're a better player than I am anyway, managing to just eke out the win, where I don't really want that. I want a definitive win. So cards we still need: Anaconda, Cross Sheep, and Dragoon, of course. Alrighty guys, so let's take it to the outro. Guys, as always, if you like the video, give it a like. If you love it, give it a share and tell everyone you know about Team Tally today. If you're new here and you want to join Team Tally, hit that subscribe button down below. As always, you have been amazing. I have been Tally. I'll catch you all later. Bye.